On the Women's Day, it is important to seek knowledge and draw inspiration from our experts who have been championing their sectors, especially women's. There are so many women who are actually setting new milestones, new steps for generations to come. This series, Champions of IP, the Europe India IP Forum, aims to celebrate leaders who have made significant contributions to IP area and ecosystem. I welcome our first IP champion, Dr. Deepa Tiku, partner K&S Partners. She don't need any introduction even because everyone knows. I mean, if you talk about the IP ecosystem, then you know Dr. Deepa. So, Dr. Deepa, a small question: how you started your journey? IP, not everyone thinks about. I'm sure. Then when we do graduation, post graduation, then we we are going for LLB or LLM maybe. But from education side, you're a technical person. How you've inspired yourself that yes, I need to move in the IP ecosystem?
Thank you, Ankita and EBTC for having me. Well, I think back in time when I began my IP career, we did not have very many technical people in the IP sector, leave alone women. But there were very few people with technical backgrounds, with higher technical degrees. You had, of course, the patent law requires you to have a technical degree, but it's the advanced technical degrees were not that, those people were not frequently available. And there were only few firms who were actually looking into the future and hiring such people. So I come from a research background and an industry background as well. And most of us at that time are lawyers by accident, not by intent. So I drifted into this profession by a stroke of destiny, and I have not regretted even a single moment. After that, I began my journey in early 2004 and got hired in a very renowned law firm who were futuristic enough to hire people like me. And the law was changing at that time. So the dynamics were very different from what we have now. We have a lot of people who are there to guide you, to support you, to mentor you in this domain. You have a lot of women to nurture you and give you that comfort and support. Those days, it was not that much, but I was extremely lucky to have very, very good team of people and some great mentors I had through my journey. And a fire in the belly and a passion for this field. So I think that has led me whatever little I have achieved in these years.
Absolutely. And I think I share the same experience like you shared because I was a bioinformatician from my master side when in 2009 I joined MATE. So at that time, quite what you are saying is absolutely right. Now difference is visible that people are keen to work with technical as well as IP person, right? It's not just the legal term. I mean, earlier it was like, okay, if you're an IP person, you need to have just law. Okay, just moving for the next question. What advice would you like to give to young professionals, especially young women professionals who are actually starting their journey? So what's your advice for them?
I think it says, while this question is specifically for IP, but I think some of the key things that all women or all professionals, in fact, have to keep in mind when they're beginning their careers or beginning a certain journey for their career are pretty common. But of course, contextually and very specifically for the women IP professionals or the youngsters who are trying to venture into this field, I think there are 4 or 5 key items that people should keep in mind as they begin this journey on this path. The first and foremost is that you must start building your expertise in the area, and you try and gain the skill sets which are really required for this. For example, IP is a complex field. You have different domains like trademarks, copyrights, patents, and so on. So you need to build a very fine and strong understanding of the laws that are existing in your country, in the country of your practice, so that you can give effective advice to your clients. You can try and attend seminars, attend conferences, read publications, gain basically the expertise that is really required for you to become a technical advisor, to become an advisor to your client. Other things are like, for example, build on your skill sets, like ability to communicate clearly, your ability to research well, attention to detail is very important. Also building a very good network around you of professionals and peers who can support you, share their knowledge with you, and you can gain with those learnings. Also staying updated It's very important. The IP field is extremely dynamic and evolving. So if you're not aware about what's happening, then people are not confident about talking to you about their matters. Or very importantly, look for mentors. Have a right set of mentors for you who can guide you, nurture you, support you in this journey. Last but not the least, I would say that also build a reputation for yourself. Stay ethical in whatever you do. See, people who are even perceived as not being so, it's very difficult to build on that. It's a short-term gain that you might get, but if you are a long-term player, you're building a journey, I think some of these points you must take care.
Absolutely. One curiosity is there, how your family has reacted and helped you, because I'm sure whenever women start, the journey, there is a, I think, limit generally our society sets. What's your experience?
I fortunately come from a family or a community that really supports education. And there is no discrimination between any gender discrimination in our community as such, and especially in our family. So I've been extremely lucky on both sides, and my in-laws and my parents fully supported. I got married in the middle of beginning my PhD actually. And so I've had absolute wonderful support from the family during this entire, and I had twins and I could still work, fully travel, and I met clients, but it could never have been possible without that. Another thing that I've also read a lot and listened to many women, successful women who have been able to do both the things. Normally we say that we can't have both, but there are people, and the best way to do it is create a great network of support around you and try and delegate some of those things to people you trust. And I think that really has helped me.
Totally agree with you. But nowadays, it's your inspiration. And I think your family is also inspiration in these terms, because people needs to understand and learn everyone is equal, and we need to give equal opportunities to everyone and setting up the same expectations.
I have to also say that, when you grow in an organization or you are a part of the organization, you can only do as much as your organizations allow you to do. I think we as leaders are also responsible for building those cultures in all these organizations, and we must support other women, other colleagues who may be going through even worse conditions than they may not have the right support at home. So I think having the right policies in place in the organizations that we work in, that's critical. And the firms that I've worked with have always supported me. That has been a really great thing about my career.
I think this is really, really wonderful. Last question, I will say. So what do you think that how this entire IP ecosystem or the laws are affecting startups and SMEs to compete in EU India Business Corridor?
I think there's no question around it, because IP laws, such as the ones that I talked about, patent, trademark, copyrights, etc., all of the designs, they do provide the legal protection, statutory legal protection to the businesses for all their innovations, their creations, their ideas. And in the context of startups and the small and medium enterprises especially, I think IP laws really can be very helpful to help them compete in the Indian and the international market likewise. For example, by protecting their innovation, by building their credibility, because they come in that league of innovators or come in the league of people who have IP, and attracting investors. For example, if you're going to pitch for some investments, a good IP portfolio can help you attract some investors. In commercialization, initiatives like licensing, monetization, and a sound IP portfolio can help. Also, you can get a first mover advantage. I think that's very important, that in a market full of dynamics, every day things are changing, so many players are coming up, we have a great buzz in the Indian ecosystem. So I think that advantage, good IP portfolio and good laws around that in the ecosystem, that definitely can provide that enabling environment for startups and SMEs.
Sure. So thank you, Dr. Tiku, for sparing time for speaking with us and sharing such interesting insights, the inspiration points, and for organizations as well, that we need to set up such kind of standards and we need to give this kind of environment for our fellow colleagues as well. So I'm sure your thoughts will inspire many more women to become future IP champions. To you and all viewers, I wish you a very happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. A happy Women's Day to everyone.